You ever notice how the world never really feels normal anymore? Like you'll just be chillaxing and then some absolute bullshit randomly appears. A new virus, a new outbreak, a new headline. Every time it feels like, oh, well, this isn't gonna happen, for that long. And then it happens again. In 2020, COVID-19. In 2023, monkeypox. In 2026, fears began spreading online. These are all different diseases, but they somehow all give you the exact same feeling. Fuck! Fear, confusion, constant updates, and people just asking that same question. Wait, didn't we just fucking do this? And at first, it feels random, but the more you look at the timing back to back, the more it starts to feel like a pattern. And whether that pattern is real or just something that our brains are trained to see, that might just be the most important part of this story. Before we can even talk about pandemics, epidemics, all the bullshit, we first need to talk about people and how they act. Humans are wired to recognize patterns. It's a survival instinct that happened a long time ago. Our brains constantly look for repetition, things that happen back and forth. You know what I mean? Things that connect, people, things that repeat, things that might just, predict danger to help us survive. You know what I mean? And sometimes that instinct does a pretty good job at protecting us. Like you see a white van with free candy written on the side of it, it'll pass your house like, 2 or 3 times. And you might see that old creepy guy in the driver's seat thinking like, wow, he actually might have some lollipops in the back seat covered in lint. But when you actually try to go out there, he just kidnaps you. Sometimes it's not always what you see. But enough about me. But after COVID, the world kind of became hyper aware of any disease in a way, which meant every new outbreak felt bigger, closer, more personal, even before we know how actually serious it is. In 2020, COVID changed absolutely everything. Not just because, the virus itself, but because of what it did to us psychologically. Lockdowns, masks, death counters, daily updates. Oh my God, it was so fucking exhausting. Like I'm literally getting flashbacks right now. But for the first time in years, the world was focused on the same threat at the same time. And after something like that, people don't just, move on. Their brain stays alert. Their brain is still waiting for that little fear to come back in, waiting for the next thing to happen. And then just a few years later, 3, I should say, another outbreak starts appearing in the headlines. Monkeypox.
U.S. officials are weighing whether to declare monkeypox a public health emergency.
Cases of monkeypox have been reported across the U.S., bringing the count up to at least 72 cases.
Instantly, people start reacting way differently than they would in 2020. Fuck. Because now everyone has a pandemic memory, I like to call it, because every headline feels heavier, every case feels more important, every warning feels familiar, and honestly, pretty fucking similar. And that's what makes the timing feel so strange. Not necessarily because the outbreaks are connected in any way, I doubt they are, but because emotionally, it feels pretty much the fucking same, like we're getting sucked back into 2020. And now, in 2026, another name starts spreading online.
Hantavirus.
Most people have never heard of it before. Honestly, I have even heard of it before, but that almost doesn't even matter anymore because the reaction starts immediately. Searches spikes, videos spread, people start spreading literally the worst shit you ever heard, and they're also preparing for the worst shit you might ever see. And before most people even understand what it is, that fear cycle has already started rolling. And this really raised such a weird question. Are outbreaks becoming more common? Or are we really just becoming more conditioned to expect them? At first, it honestly just feels like, a little coinkadoink. But a disease is appearing every few years. People panic, life moves on, the same shit. But every 3 years, we just go through this same shit. And the more you look at it, the more you realize that this cycle low-key isn't random. It's kind of informational if you think about it. And what I really mean by this is that outbreaks don't just spread through viruses alone anymore. They spread through our phones, notifications, algorithms, constant exposure, something deeper you would have never even probably thought of. Because once the world experienced COVID, every future outbreak made us want to automatically be in that fear cycle. Like our brains are recognizing a pattern, so now even small outbreaks can feel massive. Like hantavirus, when it first came out, people were talking about like, okay, you know, it's pretty fucking deadly, but there's only like people on a ship who have it. And then it started getting spread around in places and people were like, oh my fucking gosh, we're going through it. Because psychologically, people still think we're living in 2020. And honestly, at this point, this is where things get a little complicated, because once people start seeing patterns, they start looking for a reason it's happening. You're getting your ass whooped back and forth, like, damn, why am I getting my ass whooped so many times? And I don't know about you, but this shit really made me ask, why does this keep happening? However, looking back on this, I ended up finding a video of Barack Obama in 2014 talking about how we should be prepared for a deadly airborne disease somewhere in the future.
There may and likely will come a time in which we have both an airborne disease that is deadly.
And I'm not gonna lie, this shit had me feeling like, whoa, is he predicting COVID? Because a few years later, COVID literally happened. I don't know. But patterns don't automatically mean conspiracy. Fuck whatever he's saying. Sometimes a pattern is real, and sometimes humans are so uncomfortable with this randomness, they are creating meanings themselves, like how my dumbass thought that Barack Obama is predicting the future. And honestly, that's maybe the strangest part of this all. Not the disease, not the headlines, not even the timing of the diseases. It's just how quickly fear becomes something we're so used to as people. How fast the world can shift from calm to panic in like a second, to it becoming our literal daily lives. We should not be living like this, because after enough years of dealing with this bullshit, people stop reacting to outbreaks as something random. They start experiencing them as a pattern. Whether a system is biological, social media driven, psychological, all that bullshit, one thing is clear entirely. The world changed after 2020. And now every new outbreak feels like the beginning of the next pattern. For fuck's sake, please help us. Fucking aliens are looking at us like, bro, we don't even gotta kill them. They're getting taken out by fucking viruses. Like they're worried about the next one. Shit. If you guys do want to see more videos like this, please click right over here. Thank you guys also for so much support you've been doing and taking the time out of your day to click on the video. I appreciate it. I love it. If you do want to see more like this, you already know where to go. I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.